I don't know much about working this thing. It's wife's camera. This is what we've been doing the last couple days, splitting wood. Got a little bit here, maybe 2 cords, 3. Here's the machine we've been using. Pretty well made machine. It's a Dyna 15. Looks like it's got a little cat power unit here. 50, 60, 70, I don't know how many horsepower it is. You can see these things on the internet running. There ain't much point in running it. I might show it later on another movie. I don't know how to edit and go from one movie to another. It's got some good points and bad points about it. You know, our best thing I could recommend is if you're thinking about buying one of these, you ought to rent it first. I'm sure this is a good look around. This thing's got a 6-way wedge on it that goes up and down. It's got, you know, the elevator that goes up and down. It's got a nice little latch here and a big 404 chain up there cutting, and it drops down there. Everybody knows what these things are. Log come up here and hit that and bent that. Some of the things that I don't really like about it is it's not bigger wood friendly. The size that's in there right now is about a 10-inch. Looks like a maple, maybe ambrosia maple or something. But if it's got any little nooks or crannies on it all, we've had them hit on this. We've had twisted logs hit on this, that. They just kind of hit everywhere. We've had about a log every 15-20 minutes jams up in that splitter, and the thing doesn't really have the power to push through it. And you know, they rate that this thing's going to cut 3 cords. It has the ability to do 3 cords an hour. I think, in all honesty, you better look at 1 to 1.5 cords max. 1.5 cords would be maxing it. I kind of was let down with the power that it had, and I don't know. I think that if you were cutting telephone poles that were 30 foot long, straight as an arrow, no lumps, no inclusions, I mean, something like this ain't going through there. I mean, it's not going to go through there nicely. You're going to have to fight it, which slows you down. You have little ones like this, you don't make it. I mean, you have to have all real perfect wood. You know, these little nodules here like that, or like that one down there, if you have another person bucking it up, or there's another one up there, and keeping them off. Now this one here looks like it ought to go through right fast. That's ash, as I recall. That would go through pretty quick. But you know, if you're cutting those off so you can go through your processor, you might as well just cut the rounds, lay them on the ground, throw them through a wood splitter, in my opinion. Got an automatic oiler. It oils real well. I mean, it's a well-made machine. I just don't see too many problems with it. Like I said, the only real thing that I don't like is it didn't have enough power to push some of them through. And when you get one stuck in that wedge in the 6-way, you're fighting that bad boy. So, you know, if you're going to split a cord an hour or 3 cords an hour, if you're spending 15 minutes getting a stuck log out of that wedge or a stuck piece out of that wedge, you know, I don't know who's getting 3 cords an hour. I mean, we got a lot of wood here, and but I just don't see 3 cords an hour coming out of this machine. But that's kind of the way it is. When the boss gets here, I had the opportunity to run it for about 6 hours yesterday. A little monotonous. You know, I can't imagine sitting on that thing all day long just splitting wood, but I guess there's people out there that do it. And I guess if you figure the rental of the thing times how much you can produce, even if you're only producing 1 cord an hour, you know, you rent it for 40 hours, that means you're going to at least get 40 cords out of it. And it all depends on how much help you got. You know, if you got a guy that's one guy just loading the thing, another guy sawing, another one cutting the little oddballs out like this. We run them into the end and then cut them off, run them into the end here, and then run them back and let them fall on the ground here. And then we got this load over here to put chunks and hunks on that just don't want to go through there, or it's just nasty. So if we keep that to this end and run it through and then run it back and let it just drop off, sometimes the bucket's over here and just drop it in the bucket. But maybe we'll be able to, if I was running it, I wouldn't be able to video it. So if the other guy's running it, you could see it, but there's a million of these things running on YouTube. But it was neat. I'm glad that I got the opportunity to run it. I almost pulled the string on buying one of these things, and now that I've run it, I'm not going to buy one. You know, it's not the fault of this manufacturer. I think this manufacturer did a real good job. It's just that I don't think it's all that fast for the money that you get into it. So it's a neat machine though. Even after you might do say you do 3/4 an hour, you still got a pile up there, and when you start getting the pile that's up the height of this, that's the height of that. Then you got to move the whole machine, whether you move it down, you know, 10 feet to make, I guess it depends on the angle of repose for the wood, which, you know, whatever, don't make any difference. But you got to move the machine constantly or pick the stuff up. So it might be the capability of splitting it, but you still got to move it into the machine and move it away from the machine. And if you don't take that into consideration, I don't know what one man per hour could produce with this machine. I almost think that I could do that. I really think I could do 1/4 an hour. And I think maybe my next video might be me seeing if I can keep up with one of these machines. Now, I'm gonna be wore out, there's no question about it. This saves a lot of back work, you know, but we'll just have to see. Another thing I don't like, if you got a crooked log and that clamp comes down, then the next thing you know, you got a crooked cut if you have a little corkscrew log. Then it drops down in here and doesn't hit straight, and it'll go sideways, and that's what blew out that side over there. Is a sideways, one got in there and went sideways a little bit. And so it's kind of interesting. There's good things about it and not as good things about it. So you'd have to, my recommendations, if you look at any kind of wood processor, I mean, there's big ones, little ones, tall ones, short ones, everything that you can imagine. Everybody's making these things. Number one, how much wood do you need? How much wood do you want to produce? How much wood can you get? How much does it cost? Cost effectiveness of this thing, even to rent it. But I'd recommend renting one first and trying it out and see if you're going to be a millionaire doing wood. So anyhow, over and out for right now. We'll see you later. Bye.